You know, some people have called Joe Biden Jimmy Carter 2.0, but today we're going to take a deep dive to see if there's any patterns, any trends, any commonalities, and any differences. All right, so let's get right into it. Look, one thing you need to know is I'm in America because of Jimmy Carter, because in 1977, December 31st, President Carter went to Iran and he had a toast with the Shah, and everything was great. It was Iran's a friend of U.S., they're a friend of ours, and then they leave. Then Khomeini comes in to revolt his people, 9 million people, revolution in Iran. Shah's folks are calling Carter for help, Kissinger for help. At first, they say, we got your back, don't worry about it. Last minute, Kissinger and Carter says, we can't help you. Nobody comes to help Iran. Iran falls. Shah's in exile. Khomeini comes in February. 9 years later, we escape Iran and go to Germany at a refugee camp and eventually come out here. So President Carter, because of him, I'm in the United States. Having said that, there's a little bit of history here with me and the Carter administration. Well, let's get right into it. So we got Carter, we got Biden. 39-46, okay? Former peanut farmer, Carter, former governor of Georgia. Biden, 51 years, politician, that's what he's done, okay? Electoral votes, when he won, he got 297 votes. He got 306. Total votes, Carter got 40.8 million. We all know Biden's the most popular president ever. He got 81 plus million votes, according to data. Carter ran once for president. Biden ran for president 3 times, once in 88, once in 2008, and once in 2020, and that's when he won. So now we know their background. Now here's what makes these two very, very interesting. Both of them are folks who were never seen as number ones, meaning in 88 and 2008, when Biden ran, nobody ever said, you know, he's going to be a president. They were never seen as number ones. They were both good number twos, number fours, number fives, number sixes, never number one. However, Carter comes right after Watergate. Nixon, big personality, Watergate happens, boom, beautiful opportunity. You know, next thing you know, Ford doesn't get reelected, Carter gets in. Biden comes in post-Trump COVID. Crisis happens. Oh my gosh, we don't want somebody like that. We got to go complete opposite. So it's like a girl dating a guy who's a big personality, you know, like McKinsey, she's married to Jeff Bezos. We're going to take over the world. She says, I'm so sick and tired of dating a guy that wants to take over the world. I just want a school teacher, right? We went from Trump to Biden. That's what we did as America. Same as here, right? Now let's continue. Inflation. When Carter was president at first, inflation was 5.8%. By the time he was done, it was 13.5%. Now watch this. Here we only have data for 9 months. When Biden was first president, January 2021, inflation was only 1.4%. Just 9 months later, it's 5.4%. Not a year later, not 2 years later, not 4 years later. In only 9 months, it's 5x nearly inflation. So that's just inflation, right? Let's continue. Major foreign crisis and hostage situation. During Carter, it was Iran. 52 American citizens were held hostage. The day Reagan is doing his inauguration, Iran releases the 52 hostage. They're free. U.S., during Biden, Afghanistan, which was an absolute mess that took place with the sequencing on how we left. Everybody wanted to leave, but the way we left, we left the citizens first, and you know the way it just made no sense how U.S. left, and then we left all that equipment for Taliban. Major screw up here. 52 held hostage. Some say there's 8,000 held in hostage. I put the number 1,000, right? This is a massive, massive screw up. We still don't know the side effects of Afghanistan. We know the side effects of what happened in Iran when Iran went through their mess. We don't yet know the side effects of what's going to happen here with Taliban and Afghanistan. But there are major, major screw ups in foreign policy. Next, gas prices. Carter, when he first gets elected, it's 61 cents a gallon during that time. That's the absolute gas price of that time. By the time he leaves, it's $1.25, which means it's double. Now here's Biden. 2020, gas prices are 2016. Today, October today, gas prices are $3.37. A city in California today, gas prices are at $7.58. A city in Central Coast of California today, it's $7.58 per gallon. And this is not even close to what inflation is doing right now. So we don't know what's going to happen with gas prices, but we see the trends on where it's going. Approval rating. Carter, he was at 45.5%. Lowest was 28.3%. Approval rating for Biden as of right now is at 38%. He's the lowest, I believe, of the last 5 presidents minus Trump. Trump was slightly lower than he was, I think, around 35 or 34%, some number like that. Let's continue. Misery index, which is unemployment and inflation combined together, okay? So misery index for Carter, 16.26%, highest was 20%. For Biden, when he got elected, it was only 7.7%, but 9 months later, it's 11.3%. So it's gone up nearly 50% in 9 months of misery index. Again, unemployment and you got inflation, right? So keep this part in mind as well. The last few months, every month they say, oh, we're expecting 540,000 new jobs, 180. We're expecting 720,000 new jobs, 200. So it's a pretty scary thought on what's going on with jobs as well. Next, a border mishap. When Carter was president on Cuba, he was trying to do human rights because that was a big part of his campaign. He said, well, it's not fair, Castro, what you're doing. And Castro outsmarted him. And he says, you want our people? No problem. We're going to let people free. But here's how it's going to work. He opened up his prison. He let go of 125,000 prisoners he released into Miami. Miami's unemployment goes to 50% during that time. It was a mess. And we know when you think about cocaine or certain things, you think about one city, which is what? Miami. Major mishap with borders, Cuba. Now in U.S., today mishap under Biden, Mexico. Every single day you're talking about what's going on with Mexico. You know, he's not letting, political refugees that are coming here from Cuba, but he's okay with folks that are not coming in here from, Mexican border, whether it's, some places are even open borders. They're saying where people are just walking across. Now, both are conversations that are coming up on a daily basis. Fed chair, Carter gets Volcker. He says, we got to get a hold of this inflation thing. Biden has Powell today, and not much has changed. I think Powell may be increasing interest rates here very soon. Look, people say, Biden's the Jimmy Carter 2.0. I'm like, listen, that sounds good, but I want to go do research. And then you see this and you're like, well, I kind of see a lot of similarities with what's going on. Maybe neither one of them were, good number ones. Maybe they're both good men. I don't know Biden. I've never had dinner with him. I've never seen him around his kids. I don't know how he's as a grandfather. I don't know how he's as a father. I don't know how he's as a friend. Neither do I know about Jimmy Carter. But I've heard good things. I've heard good things about Carter. At least Carter lowered capital gains, I think, from 49% to like 25% because he was trying to save the economy. At least Carter tried to deregulate many of these different industries. He was trying to say, look, we got to do something with business owners because he was a former farmer, but Biden wants to increase taxes. So if I'm trying to give a break here, but everything's going to even worse than what happened here. So we just got to brace for impact because the reality of it right now is we have full data here. We know what happens here. We don't have full data here. We only have 9 months. We have another 3 years to go to see what's going to happen. And the verdict's out because he may turn it around. We don't know that yet. But here's what we do know. You know what happened after Carter? Ready? 12 years of Republican president. 8 years Reagan, 4 years Bush Sr. We have no idea what's going to happen here. But I can tell you the way things are going right now, this is a time for you to be prepared in case the market crashes. This is a time for you to be prepared in case inflation goes up. This is a time for you to actually study the market to find out how this can directly affect you and the people you love the most. This is not a time to kind of say, oh, I don't need to know this kind of stuff. It's probably the most important time to know what's going to happen to the economy because one of these things flips in a major way, it affects everything else. And God knows we have a lot of fake success going on in America right now. So that my recommendation to you would be definitely study more about what's going on today because some things are about to happen on this side. Having said that, if you like the video, you got value from the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. I got 2 other videos I want you to watch. One of them is the details of inflation, how it works. If you've never watched videos on how inflation works, click over here. And the other one is 8 ways to prepare for an economic collapse. I did that video, I think, 1.5 years, 2 years ago. If you've never seen that, click on this clip to watch that video. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.